All right, good morning, all. This is your facility management professional, Oluwafemi Ogle. On our series on effective facility management, we have looked at so many videos, looked at so many topics. For today and subsequent videos, we'll talk more on replace system, materials, and equipment. We'll look at when it is necessary to replace your system, to replace your material, to replace your equipment. We'll determine we'll be able to determine whether an asset should be repaired or replaced based on its useful life. Then when discussing this, we will take into consideration the following topics in our subsequent videos. For you to replace your systems, material and equipment, we'll look at the replacement overview. We'll look at recognizing an asset's useful life. We'll look at the condition for replacement. Then we'll look at managing disposal. So in our next video, watch out for our next video. We're going to be talking more on these four: replacement overview, recognizing an asset's useful life, condition for replacement, then we'll manage the disposal. But for today, we'll be talking at the replacement overview. Replacement is an exchange or substitute of one asset for another. That is simply the meaning of replacement. Replacing an asset for another. But they must have the same capacity and the same function. The replacement arises from obsolescence, wear and tear, functional failure or destruction of the item being replaced. You don't just replace because you want to replace. Number one, you're going to replace an item with an item that has the same um functionality, that has the same capacity, and you don't replace because you want to replace. You replace due to obsolescence, due to wear and tear or sudden failure of that item. That is when that is what necessitate replacement. In the sense of operational maintenance, the replacement of a component, piece of equipment or system doesn't just merely mean to remove or discard it. For the facility manager, replacement signifies the end of the asset's intended operational use and a plan for what to do with it next. That is what replacement means to a facility manager. Replacement to a facility manager does not just mean you want to take an item, an equipment from the operational use and just go and discard it. You intend signifies the end of that asset, the end of the operational use of that asset, and you will now plan what to do with that asset. As I've been telling you in our previous video, asset doesn't just break down. Asset doesn't just go into extinction. There are even when it has finished its life cycle, there are plans for you to manage the disposal of that asset. We'll be talking more about managing the disposal of the asset that you are removing from operational use. Then a well-maintained replacement represents a systematic approach to sustainability. You don't just replace. There's a well-maintained replacement. There has to be a systematic approach to sustainability. For that, it consists of several elements or action. When conducting a replacement, before you intend or opt for a replacement of an asset, you have to take cognizance of the following that I'm going to be explaining a bit. Reuse. You use the product more than once. You can use the product more than once. That is such as using maintenance. For example, you can use a maintenance rag to do a cleanup instead of a paper tissue. That also speaks to your replacement. Then reduce. The quantity of item or output is decreased, such as using less packaging materials or other disposable energy resources or single use products. Then we have what we call recycle. instead of just I want to replace, can I recycle it? Can I use this product in another area? Can I get a raw materials to quickly bring out another product from this one that I'm using. So replacement may not be the outright solution. You can decide to deploy that equipment to fit in into another area instead of just outrightly replacing it. The part of what to consider when looking at replacement instead of just replacing, you look at the salvage. Can I the existing equipment, can I re can I repurpose it in a productive way? Can I bring it back in a productive way without recycle or other aspects? Then disposal. An item may be scrapped, eaten or waste or otherwise discarded. Preventive maintenance is meant to replace items at regular intervals, regardless of their condition, in order to prevent failures. That is the major goal of preventive maintenance. Preventive maintenance prevent asset failure. Replacing working condition assets can reduce the risk of breakdowns, it can reduce the risk of other issues, but many result in unnecessary expenses. You may want to cut unnecessary expenses. As facility manager, you must be aware of this preventive maintenance plan, when the cost of the preventive maintenance plan and when the cost of the replacement may exceed the cost benefit analysis. So in order for replacement to be cost effective, it must meet certain criteria. As number one, a hidden failure was prevented and replacement reduce the risk of multiple failures. Replacement may reduce multiple failure. It must meet the criteria of an environmental failure must be prevented. Then the cost of replacement is less than the cost of not replacing. The cost of replacement is less than the cost of not replacing. Maybe when you have an asset that has become a cost center, the asset has become a cost center on your resources. You are spending more on maintaining the asset. It's better you do a quick replacement of that asset. So it's not a bad idea in considering replacement of your obsolete or worn out equipment, but you study the asset very well. If there can still be a recycling process, if there can still be a reuse, if you can still salvage it, if you can still put the asset into another fit into another purpose. So it's not that we just come facility managers, this asset is not working again, we want to replace it. No, 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 no. You have to look at the cost of replacing it, then you look at the cost of maintaining, the cost of maintenance of that asset, and the cost of replacing. If you discover that the cost of maintaining that asset at that age is far more than the cost of replacing, I advise you go for a replacement immediately. But if you can still reuse the asset just to save cost, if you can still put the asset into another use, you can salvage some value so that you can be cost effective. Salvage some value from that asset is good. But always remember that preventive maintenance is the in way to go. It is meant to replace item at regular interval and prevent breakdown. By the time you stick to your preventive maintenance, it's going to prevent breakdown. In our next video, we'll look at how to identify assets, how to identify assets useful life. I want to thank you for taking time out to watch the video. If there are any questions, any inquiries, you can always drop comment at the video session or you connect me direct. I'm readily available to listen to our comment, take our questions, and give us other information. Till we meet again in our next video, I am your facility management professional, Oluwafemi Ogunle. Thank you all.